Hey, Monday, September 9th, market analysis. Stan Ehrlich. Good morning. Pretty close to 10 o'clock California time. Well, we got oversold on Friday. First time in a month or so. Last time I oversold, you got a heck of a good rally out of that oversold condition. And we did get a buy signal on August 8th. Ended up being a nice trade. We've had sell signals at the top. Unfortunately, they weren't the highest high. But again, I continue to remind you, these are often part of topping out formations or time frames or small price ranges, and often part of a formation. Not this time. Now we're oversold. We got down to a support area. This yellow band has been on my chart for quite a while. Bottomed out. Today or yesterday afternoon, the beginning of the session, we did not make a lower low. So therefore, we cannot have a bullish engulfing and a green buy signal like we did on August 8th. Nor do I want one. I think this is a modest rally. Well, it doesn't look all that modest. It's 7.2 higher than the day at the moment. And there's elbow room to go up a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go up as high as maybe 55.40, but that's a stretch. Probably my next resistance area on the way up is 55 and a couple of points. 55, call it, which is close to where we're getting up to already. So I do expect it to top out soon, early this week. Challenge the lowest low for the move. That's today's low. And of course, the lowest low being Friday's low, and make new lows. My minimum downside objective into the month of October at a minimum is going to be, and has been, approximately 51.90 to, let's call it 51 and a quarter. I didn't put a support area box in there yet. And just a second. Let's do it right now. And the reason is this low right here and the lowest low for the move right about there. So, yep, that's it. That's the minimum. But I also think there's a chance that some of these charts are exhibiting what we call a double top formation, and that would be only the halfway point, in fact, to the downside objective on the double top. As far as the E-mini is concerned, it's not the greatest example of a double top, but if it was, then I'll do this for you real quick. The average of the two highs, because they're not exactly the same, on the low day starts my line. I call it a measuring stick, which is that vertical height. And you take that and you measure it from the lowest low down to 45.45. Easy number to remember. I'll say 45.45. Next chart. We have the 1 minute chart on the E-mini, still climbing, could get up a little bit more. Next chart, we got the daily spider. Now the spider is exhibited a lot better example of a double top. And as a result, I like this formation a little bit more, but I'm not ruling out the E-mini isn't one. So the measuring stick here would go from almost the same price number because the two highs are so close together, that's going to look good, to the lowest low between the two. That's the depth of the formation. And from the bottom of the formation, the lowest low, down, right to my support area. Yeah, 45, 20, yeah, 45, 15. Where's 45, 45? 45, 45 is kind of right in the middle of this. Okay. That's my maximum downside objective in October. Minimum is testing the lows that were made on August 5th. Next chart. Come on. Next chart is the 5 minute chart on the spider. And you can see how much we've dropped just in 4 days last week. We are still short ER1 overnight. Our gap code saved the day when the market gapped up on the opening on the date of August 26th, which is the 27th on a close. So, well, actually, 26th, sorry. Yeah. So it didn't get stopped out. Fairly rare occasion. Our code takes care of that situation, and we managed to hold on with this kicker that we're using, and we still are short. Now, we could get stopped out, and our stop is about 548, almost 549 at the moment, and that's not going to go up. We either get stopped out with a very nice profit, or it goes sideways to lower, and sideways doesn't happen very long usually. Next, QQQ. Decent rally about the middle of the big down day on Friday, which did get oversold and test a support area, and a pretty decent one. But like the other indexes, I'm still looking for the low that was made in early August, August 5th, to be tested. And this does not look at all like a double top, although we did get a sell signal on a second high perfectly. It simply doesn't. So I can't really make that extra measurement way down here, but it'll correlate, obviously. And the give or take a bit, I have to say, oh, really? Okay. Yeah, it matches up pretty good with the highs that we had July of 23, about a year plus ago. All right, that's it. That's I think it's going to come down to the ballpark of this price range, the trading range prices we had for the middle of July to maybe the end of October last year. Next chart, QQQ 5-minute chart. Keep in mind this rally really doesn't look that big a deal here, considering what we've come down on the Qs relatively steadily. That's why that doesn't look like a double top. The highest high is back here, and then the recent ones are significantly lower, and the trend down in both cases, pretty normal. Looking for lower levels across the board in the indexes. The Russell might be a little different. So about high and last right now for the NASDAQ, very close. I'm not sure exactly where this is going to turn down. There's a chance it could get up a little stronger for a day or two, but then south. Next chart, 5-minute chart on the NASDAQ, challenging the high a little earlier today, around 7:15 California time, which was a little bit of resistance at that level too. Well, all I can say is don't trust the rally. Don't think it's going to last very long. Not going to endanger the bearish situation that we basically have at this point. And I do expect a substantial, major investor type buying opportunity in October. Next chart. Dow futures YM double top formation and a darn good one. So depth of the formation, take the lowest low from the two highs, which are very close to the same price, and drop it. Now I've got my stick and drop it at the lowest low right there. And you've got something I've already measured a couple times, I guess. The minimum downside objective in the ballpark are 35.60. And I will say 35.50 is not ruled out at all. Cancel that measurement. This one might be just a hair too low, but I'm sorry, just getting close to that on the way down is going to be something. And October low is coming up. We're already the 9th of September. Next, Dow Jones 1-minute chart, 5-minute, sorry. Well, general resistance area just from the last few days, nothing much. Let's go to the Russell. Doji, inside day. None of these indexes made it lower than Friday's lows. So therefore, no bullish engulfing, let alone only a couple of them are oversold. And that would be the NASDAQ NQ, the QQQs also, and the E-mini, but not quite the Spider SPY, and not the MYM, and not the Russell. Okay, so Russell daily data. We do have a big support area, likely to stop there, and I'm thinking October. That would be in the ballpark of 2000 to 1950. Next, the 5-minute Russell, not even bouncing as well as some of the others. And let's go to something more interesting. Well, not it's more interesting. It's the bond market. And it's got a potential minor double top. Now we're down 10 ticks on the day at the moment. That's lower, obviously. Not much. We're not even close to the low of the day. But I am still looking at this double top. The downside objective, if you measure the way I've been doing, it's going to be the first time I've measured it here, but I think it's going to be in the horizontal plane of my price objective. There's the stick, and grab it and move it to the bottom. Oh, I am so happy about this. It is almost exact. Oh, it's almost exactly the bottom of the green circle back here in the middle of October, back on this, what I'm calling a neckline. And that would be just outstanding. I think I'll leave this here, probably change it to a dotted line later. Why not? We'll do it right now. And the line is now going to be not solid, but I'm going to call it a dash. And there we go. Good. Now, the 10-year notes also have a form of not quite as good as bonds, a double top, overbought also. Bonds got overbought on only one day, the high day, and its high is a little closer to the one relative to August 5th. Notes, the August 5th high is a little bit higher than the high of Friday, but still overbought in both cases, in a resistance area for the notes, and I think getting ready to head south. But the downside objective on this possible or plausible, and that's not as good as the bonds, double top is down to, using my measuring stick here, it is also in, but the high end, that kind of makes sense a little bit. Well, maybe not. I don't know. The green circle. So bonds should get down to its neckline. 10-year notes may not quite make it to the neckline around the middle of October, I'm hoping, and then up for months and new highs for way over a year. Next chart, crude. Oversold twice now, Friday, today, bouncing off of the support area so far very, very nicely. Higher on the day, 107. Could have turned for a nice rally up to approximately 70. And I can't rule out probably 73 and a quarter. So something around 70, 73 and a quarter, I think it's going to stop and turn down. Certainly you don't want to forget about this old bull trend line under the bottoms, because you can stop at that on the way up. And that would be in the ballpark of 71 a few days from now. That would work. Next, natural gas has had a bullish engulfing buy signal on the bottom of the market. And yes, you could call this one also a double bottom in this case, not top. And therefore, I've already measured the objective. There's your stick, so to speak. I'll change it to a dash line because I want to keep consistency here. And there we go. So minimum upside objective on the pattern, 28, call it a little under 29. Yeah, that'll work. On its way up, but today, you can't prove it by me, down a chunk, not doing any damage to any minor trend line we've got already, still above that, just back into the range of the last bullish engulfing. That's okay. Just need it to turn back up right away. Next, heating oil. Oversold, doji, up on the day slightly, could be bottoming out, but this has got such a ridiculously big support area. I'm not sure what to do about specific price ranges at the moment. I'll let this oversold condition probably produce a little rally, probably up to 2.26. Next chart, gold, silver, platinum, copper. Then we go to the grains and the meats. On gold, we have a little bit of a rally, not much, but the bearish engulfing on Friday supposed to help it to work lower. It's not one of my official sell signals, which we did get basically on the top of the market, and it has already gone down significantly since then. That sell signal was on August 28th. I think it's going to make new lows soon. The major resistance line stopped the rally. It took it a couple of weeks and even a test of it again on Friday's rally high. And I think it's about to make new lows in this week below 2,500. Next, silver. We have a head and shoulder top in progress. Currently a little higher on the day, 0.48. In the middle of Friday's big down day. Friday was a new low closing price for a few weeks. We're bouncing a little off the support again. 4 out of 5 days now, we bounced off of this line or very close to it, proving to be a decent support level. Next attempt to stop going down, 2,700. That's broken. The minimum downside objective should be 2,450. That's silver. Platinum. Minimum downside objective on the head and shoulder top, 809. Don't see anything wrong with this little bounce right here out of some support. Did almost get oversold, not quite. I expect it to turn around and head south this week. Next, high-grade copper. Buy signal on Thursday of last week, creating a little bit of a lopsided double bottom. If it turns out to be legitimate, and I'm a little questioning whether that's going to be the case, 4.6 is the upside objective. So far, down, well, slightly higher on the day, moving up decently. Maybe a new high close for the last few days. So far, so. Slightly bullish in copper. Brand new sell signal today in soybeans. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not up to date here. That's what I thought. That was on Friday. We had a sell signal on Friday. We're rallying back into approximately the middle of the range of Friday, which is okay. That's where we'd like to get short on an ER3, scalp and or overnight. We are still holding a long position from August 26th with a slow moving stop. We must have had gap code kick in because our stop dropped a little bit. I still like what I see for maybe a little bit more strength, but the fact that we got a bearish engulfing on Friday is changing my mind because the rally high on Friday was already, that's right, I just don't see the wick very easily, already up to resistance, and I think we're on our way down. So we're more likely than not going to take a modestly profitable trade out of this, and the stop's going to start to move up again. Oil. Buy signal close to the bottom, not quite. We did have a nice rally, and it's also not doing the best if you're trying to be bullish. And I'm not. I'm only looking for, in some cases, a rally in a bear market, and that's covering all the grains. Wheat might be a little more interesting. We're going to look at that in a few charts. But this could bounce a little bit more, but it already did that. It already came up to resistance. I think we're going to see new lows for the whole trend in 1 to 2 weeks. Soybean meal, overbought. Looks like it's having trouble at this bear trend line. Closed above it, closed on it, closed below it. We're trading below it. The rally highs have been above every single day the last 4 days. Only one of them got above the line on a closing basis, and then it started to sink right back down. Looking for new lows. No sell signal per se, but overbought at a bear trend line. Next chart. Christmas corn, bearish engulfing on Friday, not overbought, although close. So therefore, no red. Too bad. Now, sinking a little bit more momentarily, just barely higher on the day, half cent. Looking for new lows for the whole trend. Next, wheat. We've had a bunch of buy signals that worked a little bit or did not work. And when I say that, it's almost impossible, not totally, to have a large loss on these kinds of trades because of the fact that 2 out of 4 are scalps to begin with. But ER1 overnight and ER3 overnight do have the potential of a bad situation where gap code hopefully will be very helpful. But most of the time, the losses are small. Normal market conditions. Period. This got overbought at one of my resistance lines. I'm expecting it to turn down some more. We've already seen new lows for the previous 3 days. Heading south. Next, cattle. doji, inside day, nice rally. Don't see anything particularly profound here, except I want to mention that there is a chance of a head and shoulder bottom here. That's the beginning of the neckline on the high of August 15th, and the rally high on September 3rd creates the bear trend line, which is the neckline if Friday's low stands as the low. The timing would be about right. The number of days from the first shoulder, which was on August 5th, to the bottom, August 21, to the low of, oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't see that wick, today's wick, is way down to make a double bottom out of this. That's a surprise. Didn't see that. I apologize. So now we can measure from the highest high here, which are two little price levels about the same, up to probably around there, 184, 185. Next, hogs, touching support, not oversold. I think it's going to slip some more, but support is the first spot I would look for a turn in the market. But so far, you're into it a little. It was into it more. It's not really coming back much. And I think it could work lower. Back to the E-mini. Let's take a look at the short term. Rallied up a little bit more, flattening out slightly, right around where I thought it might because of this low and that low. And now maybe these highs are right in the ballpark. We'll see. You have a great trading day and profitable trading to you.